Thank you very much. This is issues notwithstanding. This election, this campaign has taken some interesting twists, hasn't it?
You bet.
Barack Obama and Joe Biden, who, by the way, I don't know if he was quoted out of context, but referred to our senator here in New York, your wife, you've met her, as maybe potentially a better choice for vice president than he was. How did that come about? What was he talking about?
Well, I don't know, but you know, Hillary and Joe Biden and we're friends. Joe Biden was a great supporter of mine when I was president in stopping the genocide in Bosnia and Kosovo, restoring democracy in Haiti, and a whole lot of other things that we did together. He is a very fine man and a great public servant, and they just like each other. And he knows that, you know, Hillary ran, got 18 million votes, and I think he was telling what he honestly believed. That basically, he thought she'd be great. He was selected. Let's make the best of this and win this election. That's what I think he was saying. I don't think that you should. He's a brutally frank guy, but I don't think he meant it in any kind of cute way.
Yeah. And see, that's the problem. People like me and everybody else tries to find something silly and cute there.
I think, no. Look, I just think that you got to understand, he and Hillary are friends. They like and respect each other. And when he was named, we were together, and she looked at me and she said, this is good.
Yeah.
You know, we like Biden. We have lots of confidence in him.
You know what I like about this guy, and it's something I guess I knew but didn't know to the point where it sank in. He was on the show a couple of years ago, and his story, and it's well documented, and talk about being down and being knocked down and kicked down. This guy couldn't get down any farther. And I said to him, what do you do? And he said, I just remember something that I think his father had told him. He said, just get up.
Yep.
And boy, those are great
man.
words. But if you can do that, well,
he lost
superhuman.
His first wife and child at 20 when he was 29 years old. He'd just been elected to the Senate, youngest person elected to the Senate in 50 years, and he had to start again. Then he had the aneurysm. He had to start again. He had 20 years ago ran for president, and I think got pretty much of a raw deal. He had to start again. And he just kept serving and serving with dignity and doing good things. And I think he's great.
And has not accumulated a vast fortune for his efforts in public service.
And he goes home every night. I mean, to Delaware. He gets on a train and goes back to Delaware every night. He is, it's interesting. He and Hillary have a lot of him. He was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Her family, the Rodham family, are all from Scranton. We're going up there to christen our newest nephew in about, 3 weeks or so. And then Joe's going to come up and meet us, and we're all going to do a campaign event for Senator Obama in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's going to be fun. We'll have a good time.
Do you think if John McCain is elected, Sarah Palin will go back to Alaska every night?
It's a long way.
Now,
unless she's got a time machine, that'll be tough.
As a man who has served and understands politics better than anybody else, you must have been fascinated by that choice.
I was. I think, first of all, you got to understand, McCain, one of the things that I like about him, that I think Americans like about him, is that he is an intuitive politician. And I think he instinctively thought that she would help him, number one, excite the people who were potentially his voters, and number two, demonstrate that he could be a change candidate. See, his big cross to bear in this election is that this is not a very good year to be a Republican. I mean, really, I mean, two-thirds of the American people are having trouble paying their bills. They're genuinely worried. They're having trouble with their health care, or their mortgages, or their utilities, you can't fill up the gas tanks or even buy food, and like lots of other things. I went to 300 towns for Hillary in the last 3 months of this election. 300. I've never seen anything like it. It's significantly worse for average people than it was in 1992 when I was elected on the economy. So he needed to somehow get people's attention, and I think he thought this would do it. And it certainly has been interesting. It's been interesting because it generated more enthusiasm on the part of Republicans, and physics being active in politics, there was an opposite reaction.
That's right.
Generated more giving to Senator Obama among the Democrats. The enthusiasm gap closed, and the only kind of potentially negative thing is, you know, when you get a lot of emotion in a campaign, it tends to generate more heat than light. And right now, we all need to be thinking here. We're in a fix, but we can get out of it. But we need to be thinking about this election. Who is best for our future? Who is best for our children's future? Who can turn the economy around? Who can do the right thing on the energy thing? Who can do the right thing on these complex national security issues? But I think it's a fascinating election. And
the current polls, I guess the difference is about 3 points in favor of the Democrats, which statistically evaporates somehow. Is the election going to be that close?
I would be a little surprised. I think that it'll be a little wider than that. But keep in mind, you don't have an incumbent president. And this is the first time in a good while where you don't have an incumbent vice president running, or, you know,
Right.
was the nominee of one of the two parties. And both Senator Obama and Senator McCain have different psychological sort of claims, if you will, on the imagination of the electorate, as well as what they say, here's who I am, here's what I'm for, here's my position on these issues. And I think it's keeping the thing a little tight and interesting. I think could break open a little after the debates, but I'd be surprised. I think they'll both acquit themselves well. I think in the end, the election will break Obama's way. And you can discount that since I'm for him, but I think that the reason I think that is that I think he'll show himself to be intelligent, well motivated, on your side, and able to do the job in the debates. And as I said, you got 2/3 of the people in trouble, aggravated by this recent financial problem. And the country is becoming more diverse racially, religiously, culturally. And you've got more new registration among Democrats and Republicans. So what I think will happen is we'll get along toward the end of this race. The country will wind up liking both of them. A lot of people go into that polling place and say, you know, I really admire Senator McCain. He gave about all you could give in this country without getting killed for it.
Yeah.
But I got to have a change, and I think I'm going the other way. That's what I think will happen. And that's what I believe.
Well, always a pleasure to have you here. Continued success with the Global Clinton Initiative. And I hope you come back and see us again often.
Anytime.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.